This lesson on academic writing skills is about conditional sentences. We'll begin with the introduction, then we move on to introduce types of conditional sentences and some exceptional rules. Finally, we'll have some quizzes to check out our learning. In the introduction, we'll cover two things: what are conditional sentences and why it's important to know types of conditional sentences. First, what are conditional sentences? They are statements of an if-then or unless-then situation or a probability. They are constructed using two clauses, the if or unless clause and the main clause. So, why is it important to know types of conditional sentences? It can help us in the following 5 ways: to present the situation and its possible outcomes, to state and test a condition and its outcome, to be part of a research hypothesis statement, to discuss the reasons to conduct a study, and to discuss the results of the research studies. Now let's move on to learn the 4 main types of conditional sentences. So the 4 types of conditional sentences include zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. First, zero conditional is used to refer to the general truth about a situation. It states that one condition always results in the same outcome. Present simple tense is used in both the if clause and the main clause. As can be seen in the sentence, no is used in the if clause while can use is used in the main clause, and it means as long as they know what a stove is burning, they can estimate the amount of consumed fuel. Second, first conditional is used to show real possibility. It refers to a condition and its probable results, which are possible and very likely to happen at present or in the future. Present tense is used in the if clause and the future tense is used in the main clause. As can be seen in the sentence, by is used in the if clause, while won't do a great job is used in the main clause. It shows that it's very possible that the phone camera won't do a great job at taking photos in low light. Next, second conditional is used to refer to a condition and its probable result, which are possible but extremely unlikely to happen at present or in the future. Past simple tense is used in the if clause, while would and infinitive is used in the main clause. As can be seen in the sentence, fail is used in the if clause, while would be is used in the main clause. And it means someone is possible but very unlikely to fall into a black hole. Finally, third conditional shows no possibility for a condition. It refers to a condition in the past that did not happen and its probable past result. Past perfect tense is using the if clause, while would have and past participle is using the main clause. As can be seen in the sentence, had been built is using the if clause, while would have collapsed is using the main clause. The truth is, the tower hadn't been built 4 years earlier and didn't collapse when the fire broke out. Now let's move on to look at 2 exceptional rules of using conditionals. The first exception is that future tense is used in both the if clause and the main clause. As can be seen in the sentence, will ease my arthritis pain is using the if clause, while will take it is using the main clause. What makes it different from first conditional is that the situation will ease my arthritis pain in the if clause hasn't happened and will happen after the action take it in the main clause is taken. Here's the other exception. In this exception, word to is using the if clause while would and infinitive is using the main clause. As can be seen in the sentence, word to is using the if clause while would have is using the main clause. So, where to is using the conditionals when the result is particularly unlikely, unthinkable, or incredible. As we can see, where to is used to place emphasis on this improbable outcome, to be suspended or expelled from school. Now, let's move on to the quiz part to check out learning. First, please choose the appropriate answer. As we can see, zero conditional refers to one condition which always results in the same outcome, while the first conditional refers to a condition and its probable results, which are possible and very likely to happen at present or in the future. The second conditional refers to a condition and its probable result, which are possible but extremely unlikely to happen at present or in the future. And the third conditional refers to a condition in the past that did not happen and its probable past result. Next, please choose the appropriate conditional types based on the sentences given. As we can see in the first sentence, past simple tense was is using the if clause, while would and infinitive would create is using the main clause to show an unreal possibility, which is possible but extremely unlikely to happen. In the second sentence, present tense are is using the if clause, while future tense will be is using the main clause to show the real possibility, which is possible and very likely to happen. Next, in the third sentence, past perfect tense have been is using the if clause, while would have and the past participle being is used in the main clause to show the situation that did not happen and its probable past result. Finally, in the fourth sentence, present tense is and boils are using both the if clause and the main clause to show the truth. Now, let's quickly review what we have learned. As what we've learned, there are four types of conditional sentences we can use to express different degrees of certainty. Zero conditional refers to the general truth about one condition, which always leads to the same outcome. While both first conditional and second conditional refer to a condition and its probable result at present or in the future, the situation in first conditional is very likely to happen, and the situation in the second conditional is extremely unlikely to happen. And third conditional refers to a condition in the past that did not happen. Thus, when we write, make sure we choose the appropriate type to present the situation and its possible outcome, to state and test a condition and its outcome, to state a research hypothesis, to discuss reasons to conduct a study, or to discuss the results of the research studies. Thank you for joining us for the lesson. The lesson is created by the Academic Writing Module Group at CCU and is funded by the Ministry of Education.